got Max from U-Meet6 on the line at the moment. The band are coming down for the Groovin the Moo festival in May, as well as a couple of side shows around the country as well, on the back of last year's incredible Cavalier Youth. So Max, how's it going?
Very well, mate, very well. How you doing? Keeping well?
Yeah, been real good. How's the weather over there?
Well, it's not too bad now. It's like night time right now anyway for us, so it's been a bit cold today, so it's not too bad. Looking forward to getting over to Australia and soaking up the sunshine for Groovin the Moo, obviously, and for the shows. It's going to be good fun. Looking forward to coming back.
Now, each album sees you guys improve on your songwriting again and again. Looking back like a year later, how have you found the reception to Cavalier Youth?
The reception to Cavalier Youth has been amazing. You know, obviously, as you said, I think it's because the songwriters progressed over time as well, and I think we really started to find our feet as a band and who we want to be in our sound-wise as we're growing up and growing older. So it's always an adventure every time, and it seems like it's been very well received everywhere. So, you know, looking back on it now, it's been a successful campaign for us, and we've achieved a lot. We had like a #1 over in the UK, which was our first ever #1 album, and it seems like internationally as well, it's really kind of caught a lot more listeners' ears, and there seems to be a gauge of interest with our band right now across the world. So, you know, it's all stepping in the right direction for us.
Yeah, sweet. As you mentioned, you're coming back for the Groovin the Moo festival. There's something different for you guys in Australia, playing a bunch of rural shows. They're playing Bendigo here in Victoria. So what are you most excited about the festival?
I think it's just really kind of getting to see, you know, different areas of Australia that we've never been to before, and seeing what the crowds are like and seeing what the town's like. For a band like us, we normally go to places like Sydney and Melbourne and just the main cities, where with Groovin the Moo, we're actually getting to experience a lot more a real Australia and get to see a lot more insights of it. So we're looking forward to really just kind of venturing around Australia and actually touring into it a lot more, because it would be our first time ever doing so as well.
Yeah, in the past you've conquered the Soundwave audiences again and again, but this time we're playing a bit of a mixed bill in Australia. It's something that you've done over in the UK, but not so much here so far, so it'd be cool to impress different audiences this time around as well.
Yeah, definitely. For us as a band, you know, we're all about trying to play to a new audience and just kind of win people over our live shows. I think we take a lot of pride in what we do live. We've done it for basically 10 years now, you know, as a band, and it's like our bread and butter really is where we crafted our skills from playing live shows. So if we can go to Groovin the Moo and play to a new audience and win some fans, you know, we'll be really happy. But, you know, it's got a great lineup. I'm really excited to be with like some artists like Wolf Mother as well, who I'm really looking forward to see. There's bands like Charlie XCX and ASAP Ferg and Hilltop Hood. It's a really good mixture of artists, you know, so it could be a good opportunity for us to really gain some new fans.
Yeah, sweet. You'll also be playing towards your dedicated fans at the old favourites. You got like a Perth show playing here Thursday, 30th of April at the Melbourne Hi-Fi Bar. It's got 2 Sydney shows as well, so it'll be good to play towards your dedicated fan base as well, of course.
Definitely, because obviously last time we were over with Tonight Alive and it was bigger rooms, so this time we're kind of going back to smaller venues and making it a little bit more intimate and making hopefully shows for people who are going to come down from our core audience have a show to remember, you know. I think that's what we take pride in. We can go off and play festivals on like big stages, and then when it comes back down to playing shows in small rooms, I think we try and put on a good atmosphere and a good show for people that can come along and enjoy themselves and walk away at the end of the night going, well, I don't know if that's going to ever happen again, I've seen them in a small venue now. So I think that's why we wanted to do something as well, just so Groovin the Moo is very different for our band, and we wanted to make sure that if our audience wasn't going to come and see those festivals, that they also had an opportunity to come and see us elsewhere.
Sure. Yeah, you've got a damn dedicated fan base. I know a couple of people who have like seen nationwide tours from you guys, and you guys have been here quite a few times now. It's always like crazy when you think of like just how dedicated some of your fans can be. Yeah,
definitely. Like this shows that, like, obviously for what we do as a band, you know, we've actually made an impact on people's lives, and if I can meet like artists that I really enjoyed when I was growing up, and they had that much influence on me. It's the reason why I do my job, you know. So I think we take a lot of pride in the fact that we do have a dedicated fan base, and we try and spend as much time with them and hang out and just at least have a conversation with them, because actually, if it wasn't for these people, we wouldn't have the jobs we actually have today. It's all about remembering really where your grassroots come from. So it's just crazy for us still to think there's fans on the other side of the world. Literally the furthest point from England right now is Australia, and there's fans over there that want to see us. So we're very humbled by that feeling that we have a very good fan base and they look after us, so we try and look after them.
As you mentioned, you've been a band for 10 years now. You've got a 10-year documentary up on your website which people can have a check on. Does it ever blow your mind that it's been like 10 whole years?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I mean, like for for us as a band, we only really started because it was something to do, like a hobby of ours around our local area that kept us occupied on Friday nights, putting on local shows and just having a good time with friends, you know, really. It's like a community and a hub. And to think 10 years on that we've been very lucky enough to go around the world and play shows in various different countries and have a fan base and achieve what we've done so far still, I think, blows our minds, you know. But I think after 10 years of doing it, like, you start to get used to it, and you kind of start seeing that, well, this is how lucky we are, this is our life, and this is our jobs, you know. So we take things really seriously, you know, and hopefully when we come back with the next record as well, I think we're going to spend a lot more time writing it, and it's going to be an enjoyable process because we don't want to rush writing the next bunch of songs that we're going to do in the near future, you know.
Yep, it's also been 5 years of You Me at 6 visiting Australia, because your first time here was Soundwave in 2010. Been a crazy build-up for you guys here. Do you remember much from your very first Australian shows?
Yeah, I think we played like Brisbane on the first show, and I think we turned up and we were kind of like, we didn't really know what to expect, and being like, oh, if it was like 100 to 50 people, we'd be pretty stoked, and that's on the other side of the world. But I remember there being like, it must have been about 500 people plus to 1,000 people watching our band, and it was just like, whoa, you know, like, what's this all about? You know, this is it was a very surreal feeling to come to the other side of the world and be that many people on your first show there playing, you know. So I think Australia's always been really good to us, you know. I think it's definitely one of our better markets that You Me at 6 plays in, and we're really lucky to have a fan base on the other side of the world that, one, is a great audience, a great fan base that loves live shows and appreciates artists coming over and playing for them. But then, two, is also because of the great weather, so we get to have an amazing time as well, and you've got such an amazing country, there's so much to do. So, you know, it's an amazing feeling to have that going on for 5 years. So Australia, we owe Australia quite a big part of our band as well, to be honest with you.
You touched on this just before. It's probably the end of the touring cycle for Cavalier Youth. So do you have any ideas on what you'd like to do on album number 5?
Well, there's no ideas yet, to be honest with you. I think we're all just kind of waiting and just going to get near the end of the cycle when we start writing again, probably be the end of this. So I think it just kind of depends on really where all our heads are at and kind of whether we want to take the music personally, because a lot can change over 2 years after releasing a record, and we've lived with those songs now for nearly 3-4 years, you know, so our musical change might be different now and where our direction might go, but that's the exciting part of being a musician, and it's the suspense. I think that's what we left Cavalier Youth on such a note, because it's kind of left the door open for our band, because I don't think really anybody knows we're going to go right now, and that's an exciting factor about music. You just want to keep people on their toes and kind of expect what's going to happen from this band, you know, and hopefully we produce something good, you know. I think we're going to spend, as I said, we're going to spend a lot of time writing it down, getting the studio done up, so I think that's going to be a big part of our band for the next 6 to 12 months, really, is just kind of getting down and just enjoying being a band again and just jamming out.